If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your favorite words I will show.
Happy Monday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive, and we are live. For Las Vegas's own Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvelis from Savannah-ish, Georgia. Aaron, how was your sports weekend, if anything?
So I bet a few baseball games, and that was really about it. I honestly can say I didn't watch much preseason football, even though we're going to talk about it. I can catch the highlights. But I will say this. I've lived in Las Vegas, Nevada for pretty close to a decade now. And one thing I thought I would never encounter out here, being from Florida, was hurricanes. And yet, here we are.
That's right. Wow, I need to pay attention more to the news, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, she's a tropical storm now, but yeah, hurricane hit off the coast of California. And we're getting pounded with some rain over here, but nothing too crazy. But, you know, it's just funny to kind of feel like, you know, man, keep your own natural disasters on your own side. We've already got the earthquakes and the excessive heat. You know, Mother Nature is apparently a Yankees fan, and she's pissed off that they're not doing well.
Yeah, she don't care about it. She's not biased, though. I will say that.
That's true. She shares her natural disasters with all of us.
That's right. MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best ways to support our show besides subscribing to our YouTube, which is at 55 now, by the way, so we did pretty good with that. Pimping that out. 55, baby! Hear that, Jordan Addison? Let me shut up. I thought, 55 miles per hour. Okay.
Driving, yeah, no, I
Right,
got you.
okay. But, yeah, MikeandAaronDrive.com, because we make bad jokes, we get canceled like every other show, and you love us for it. So, there you go.
It's true. Love it.
Good stuff. CJ Stroud settled in after a rough start. I was watching this game, actually, and it looked bad. And suddenly, the next drive, he looked good. I couldn't explain it. It was like night and day watching him. And he's not consistent, which is what I've said the entire time. I mean, I'm not saying he can't fix it, but wow. They played him the entire first half. Thankfully, like you said, the words you used were he did settle in after a pick six, but he was like sailing passes. I was like, what is he doing? But he made some really good throws in the end. So he showed potential, which is what I've been expecting from him, but nothing sold me about this game, but it was still nice that they played him the entire first half.
Yeah, it feels like almost as if this guy's a rookie and we need to give him a little bit of time to, become an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
I hear rumblings that they're considering Davis Mills into this, going into this season.
That's right.
Look, I'm not against Davis Mills. I'm still a guy who thought, he could be a quarterback. Last year, he didn't really do anything for me to help that cause, but yeah, pick six to open up. I mean, you can have the mindset of, oh dear, here we go again. But CJ Stroud kind of, mentally just got past that, which is a big thing quarterbacks need to do. Is just you make a mistake, you move on. These things are going to happen. Some of the best quarterbacks in the world are going to throw picks, and some of those are going to get returned to the house. I mean, Texas quarterbacks. I think Matt Schaub threw like 10 pick sixes in a year. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but there was one year where they went to the playoffs and he threw about 10 pick sixes, 8 to 10 or something like that.
I don't think you're making Texans fans very happy about mentioning Matt Schaub as the comparison here.
I mean, Matt Schaub is probably the best quarterback in Texans history. So,
and
I mean,
hey, don't do that to them.
It's hard to find a good. It's hard to find a good one. What I'm saying is that like he's gonna go through growing pains, and if you're a Texans fan, I mean, you have a less than 1% chance of having a successful season.
Good morning. Will, all right. Will Anderson actually looked really good.
Yes,
Freakishly,
yeah.
like a few times. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
dude. And so did Tank Dillis looked good through the preseason and camp. I've heard the little wide receiver from Houston. They've got Robert Woods and Nico Collins, who C.J. Stroud seems to like both of. And I still think Dameon Pierce is not a bad running back by any means.
No, I think he's a really good running back. And then they grabbed Devin Singletary to spell him as well from Buffalo. I mean, do they have a spectacular team? No, not at all. But are they going to surprise a couple of teams, maybe sneak out a win? I mean, all this is going to be built around getting C.J. Stroud up to can he beat Deshaun Watson? I don't personally think so.
Me neither.
But, this is their guy. So they have to figure out a way to make him the best quarterback he can be.
I also thought Dolphins looked really good after they settled in too. Because, once they got going, I was like, oh, Lord. I'm concerned about the offensive line, but Tua did take some hits, and I was told he can't take a hit, so that was nice. I mean, people see concussions a few times. Oh, God, the guy's done. He's not done. He's fine.
Well, I think it's not that he can or can't take hits. It's just now at this stage in his career, if somebody's going to get a clear path to him, and whether it's right or wrong, this is the way sports athletes think. Hockey, you see it all the time. That's why the hockey injuries are so broad. Always got a lower body injury. Always got an upper body injury. I don't want you to know specifically what's wrong with him, because in your mind, that is exactly what you're going for if you get a cheap shot, if you get a free shot at him. So, we know with Tua, it's concussions. And if he gets blindsided, taking a hit everybody in the NFL can take a hit. I mean, it's not that's not a talent per se if you're an NFL player, or a skill. It's how do you when you get leveled, or when you get into these hit stick type moves, do you get back up as quickly as the rest of the guys in the NFL? And so far right now, Tua's got a couple of them that just haven't worked out for him. So
a couple of cheap shots.
The one against the Bengals, I didn't really think it was a cheap shot.
I think they rushed him back.
Yeah, the other one where his head hit the floor, I
believe Tom Brady would have got concussed from that crap.
That one was a tough one. I think that was, I forget who that was against.
Matt Milano and the Bills.
It was against the Bills. Okay, yeah. So that one, you're right. 9 out of 10 quarterbacks could have been concussed on that play. So, Tua is going to be fine. I think if he's healthy, they'll be an exciting team this year. So I wasn't really sweating Miami. The only reason I would say I'd sweat Miami is because that division is just, it's like the West. Somebody has to finish in last. It's probably going to be New England,
or the Jets.
That's a bunch of tough teams. I seem to, it's funny. I don't want to buy the farm on the Jets, but I'm slowly coming around to them being halfway decent this year. I'm still, they're not going to make the playoff. I still think it's a 7 to 8 win team. They were 7-10 without Aaron Rodgers and Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Wow, here we go again. That's why you like him now.
I like the Jets. Now, does that mean I think they're going to win? I'm just saying I like the team assembled. The Bills are human, as we've seen, and Miami is pretty good. If Tua can stay upright, I think Miami wins that division. But
me too.
So we'll see. We're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff here next week in our division previews. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. We're gonna get a little surprise for you guys. You guys are gonna be excited. Those of you who do watch our show and subscribe to the YouTube channel, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised at our exclusives, so to speak.
Ooh, paid only, babe. Okay, no.
No.
We're selling our bodies now. Okay, Daniel Jones and the Giants are humming along. They look pretty good. In fact, I will read this verbatim from the Associated Press.
Good Lord. How many times did you yank off on this one
this weekend? Is great. Now, I was actually furious. I was like, oh, really? The way Daniel Jones played in his preseason debut, it looks as if the New York Giants got a steal, signing him to a $160 million contract in March. Again, I'll repeat that. As if the New York Giants got a steal. A steal! Real? Wow! Who could Who could have seen Daniel Jones coming? Please, by all means, Aaron, go ahead and talk.
I don't really have a lot to say other than like this is preseason, and how many times do we
Right.
talk about like just calm down, pump the brakes? He did 8 of 9. You said a touchdown in his first drive. He's actually a quarterback I'm targeting in fantasy football this year.
Who could have
Well,
seen it? I'm trying to think of who.
No, it's for the rushing yards, buddy.
Thank you. That's fair.
It's amazing how much you talk about how we shouldn't overreact or underreact to preseason, or we shouldn't over or underreact to preseason, and here you are just spewing nonsense.
Yes.
I mean, it's a preseason drive. It's a preseason drive that they basically handed him the reins. And I'm nothing against Daniel Jones. You know, I'm not a Daniel Jones hater by any stretch. I'm just saying, like, let's calm down a little bit. This is the world we unfortunately live in. Is just when things don't go your way, it's quiet, and then he has something that you just hold on to, and you just want to sound the alarm. Looking at you, Hawaii.
Oh, look at me! I'm like South Park.
I don't know.
Come on.
It's not just you. It's the Nick Wrights of the world. They're all just like anything that happens to the guy that you love negatively, you just kind of keep sweeping it. And there's this little hill of the rug, and then good things happen, and you're like, woohoo! See, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Daniel Jones hater. I'm just saying, let's see what happens now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of high on the Giants, given the fact that they have the easiest schedule of the 3 NFC East teams that we expect to compete.
I don't buy into that. That's last year.
Well, last year matters when it's determining your schedule.
Yeah, but we'll see how the teams look now.
Why do you think we have so many teams go from worst to first, and third place teams, improve on their seasons and things like that? I mean, look at Philly last year. I think they finished second in the division and rode that all the way to Super Bowl appearance.
I'll tell you what, though, our division preview is going to be spicy.
I think so. Our division preview might be anarchy if we're arguing back and forth. So we'll see.
Baby. Brock Purdy actually played.
Hey,
woo!
Boy.
He looked good. He threw like four passes maybe.
I think so.
Like 4 for 4. I'm like, okay. Although Sam Darnold and Trey Lance did not help themselves. I mean, they both threw a pick, and Trey Lance, wow, dude, can you please stop sucking?
It's funny.
Gosh,
it's funny you mentioned that because, and I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. I'm not an anti Trey Lance. It's just like the more Kyle Shanahan, they're two different styles of quarterbacks, but I think Kyle Shanahan wanted a guy to come in to manage this team because look at everything around them. Trey Lance, the more and more he stinks, the more and more he tries to be the highlight reel.
Yep.
And it's just, one, it's just not his style. And two, he's just not good at doing what is expected. Brock Purdy is perfect. I think it was first or second pass, a bootleg rollout pass to Debo. Debo gets 25 yards. That's what they want. That's all they want, Trey.
Yep.
Come on, man.
They don't want you flinging the ball and seeing that he can get it. They want you to find your guy.
Find your guy. That's why you have Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. That's why you have all these playmakers. You're not the guy. Yeah, you're not the guy. You're not the. And Brock Purdy understands that, and that's why I think he fits so well in the system. And I'm not saying that Trey Lance can't be that. It doesn't seem like he wants to be that.
It's almost like Tom Brady would have worked over there.
Oh yeah, he definitely would have.
Oh, what's crazy is I think that team is better than what the Buccaneers were when Brady joined them. Although I think they both were pretty good. But yeah,
I'm trying to be unbiased here. I don't think so. I mean, I think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are a better tandem than Ayuk and Debo.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I think the entire scheme around the 49ers is what Brady's fine with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think if he went to the 49ers, there's no reason he wouldn't have won a world championship with them either. Super Bowl.
Right. We'll get into that.
I was gonna say World Series, and I went with World Championship, but no, like I said, I'm trying to remain unbiased. I don't see why I don't see why if because remember even when Aaron Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay, San Francisco would have been perfect for him.
Yeah.
Been a lot easier of a situation to step into than the stacked AFC.
Right. Hey, Jamar Chase, interesting list here for his Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. I like hearing the people that say it's his list. Well, sometimes his list can be wrong. Aaron, tell me what Jamar Chase's list was and why you want to talk about this today.
Well, no doubt, I think his list is wrong, but I can understand his listing. I mean, I'm starting to learn that I'm getting old.
Oh.
And as I start to learn I'm getting old, that means people that are older than me are learning that they're getting real old. Because this is the same thing we have with the basketball eras, the greatest of all time quarterback debates. It's the reason why a lot of these old, NBA players don't even have LeBron James on top 5 lists. Everybody has an era where they saw people play. And I think if you ask Jamar Chase and behind closed doors, I don't even know if Jerry Rice would be on this list to him. Jerry Rice is on a lot of people's lists of his age because he leads the NFL in receiving yards all time.
Still. Yeah.
Still in a passing league, he still leads them, and by a wide margin, if I might add. By the way, his Mount Rushmore was Jerry Rice, Megatron, Antonio Brown, and Cooper Kupp. Which how much I love me a cup of Cooper, but he is not anywhere near to be considered on anyone's Mount Rushmore. So
he had a good year or two. That's it.
It's your list. You can craft it how you want. You're right. And when you make these kind of lists, they're obviously open to scrutiny when you are a public figure.
I am. So let's go.
Obviously, we're both going to agree on Jerry Rice. Megatron, it's funny. He was for a 9-year stretch one of the best receivers in the game. You really, with a Mount Rushmore, you have to question his longevity at that point. Antonio Brown, I mean, it's hard to take away what he actually did before he went crazy. And he's definitely a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Best of all time, I don't know. And then Cooper Kupp, that's the big L. I think Cooper Kupp's honestly the big LOL of this, which makes it so newsworthy. Because if he throws Randy Moss in there, it's not a bad list. I mean,
what is your list? Come on, let's do it.
So here's my list. Obviously, Jerry Rice is number 1. Okay. Randy Moss is number 2.
Oh, you got them ranked. Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, this is the way I wrote them down when you start coming to a head.
Right.
My number 3 is Terrell Owens. I mean, I think he's one of, again, another player where all you think about is the media and the cancer that he was in a lot of locker rooms. But, man, that guy was one of the best receivers I've ever seen in my life. So Terrell Owens is number 3, theoretically, for me. And number 4 for me is Marvin Harrison. I thought he was an absolute staple of come in, punch the time clock, get 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, punch the time clock, and go home. And a couple of guys I thought about, Andre Reed. He was in my early football watching days. Obviously, Megatron was definitely in the consideration. For me, it's just a longevity thing for Megatron. It's so tough when there are so many other good receivers. In my life, and of course you have to give a tip of the cap to the old guys like Steve Largent, Don Hudson. Those guys were some of the best to do it of all time in their eras, but I didn't see them play. I mean, I really I saw the back 9 of Jerry Rice. So, but like you said, behind closed doors, I'd still put Jerry Rice on my list, but I think some of this new generation behind closed doors, they wouldn't put Jerry Rice on their list.
That's rough. I think Jerry Rice made my list because I still, if you play any Madden game, just check the records. If you think you have a 99 receiver on your roster and you're trying to chase a record, tell me if you can catch Jerry Rice's record in your Madden franchise. You can't do it. It's impossible.
Do we think like Justin Jefferson or anybody like that? I mean, he's got over the first 2 years, he's got 3,700 yards.
I'm not a JJ fan though.
Well,
I mean, I know people are like hyping him up, but like I get that he's really good. But I think I like Jamar Chase.
I mean, as best wide receiver in the league, or are you just comparing the two?
Compare the two, because I know that's like a hot topic.
Who's the best wide receiver in the league right now?
I mean, are we throwing in a healthy Cooper Kupp if he play? I mean, he's supposed to be good this year again.
Yeah.
Kupp is good. Oh wow, this is. I mean, Mike Evans still has 1,000-yard seasons.
Never hadn't had one.
Which is insane. I remember watching him with Johnny Manziel. God, Devontae. Is Devontae? I mean, Devontae is still up there.
I think he's the best wide receiver. I think him and Cooper Kupp are the best wide receivers. I think Adams and Kupp are the best wide receivers. When healthy,
I think Kupp's gonna show out this year again. So I'll have to agree with that.
I hope he does. He's one of my favorites to watch for sure. He reminds me of Edelman a lot.
Wow, but except he's faster and yeah.
Oh, he's better than Edelman. I'm just saying, like I like watching Julian Edelman play.
Right. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison, actually, because I'm a Colts fan. It was either him or Reggie Wayne, but obviously Marvin Harrison dwarfs that combo.
Yeah, I think so. But Reggie Wayne's nothing to sleep on either.
And I have Antonio Brown.
Okay, like I said,
think the ability to just get open is like, for as many years as he did with 100 catches plus, was really impressive to me. And I couldn't deny that. Megatron, it's the longevity thing. I can't. Maybe even Julio, but Julio, again, he kind of fell off like a cliff after Atlanta, so I can't really hype him up. Hopkins could be up there. Fitzgerald, maybe.
Yeah, Fitzgerald was one I thought about just because he was a model of just consistency and showing up and never dropping passes. I just don't know if he's. I don't know if he's one of the best to me.
Right. He was always good, but I don't feel like he was ever great. Like I couldn't ever put him in a great convo, which is weird.
Yeah, another guy, again, didn't make the list for me, but I thought Steve Smith was always incredible to watch as well.
Oh, yeah, Panthers guy.
Yeah, but again, he wouldn't make my Mount Rushmore, but, I mean, of entertaining players, sure, absolutely, he'd be in there.
All right, we got to take a breaky break here, a little restroom whiz. Okay. When we come back, we're going to be talking about top 5 baseball teams on Monday Tradition here, and also the Angels. Are they finding more than one way to lose? We'll talk about all that. We'll be right back to the AM Drive.
All right, welcome back here to this Monday edition of the AM Drive, presented by our friends at Shank It Golf. Make sure when you go to Shank It Golf and buy all of your apparel needs to make sure you look good, not play good, on the course, use code AM Drive for 15% off your order. And tell them the boys at AM Drive. Oh, hey, I forgot to remember. Tell them the boys at AM Drive sent you. They sent us they sent us a T-shirt.
They sent you, or they actually?
Well, they sent me a T-shirt.
That's awesome, though.
Shank It Golf and the back.
I like that.
You can see it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised you didn't have to buy that one.
No, they sent this one as they had an ambassador program. I filled it out, and they sent a T-shirt. It's pretty cool. I mean, they have polos. They have pretty. What caught my eye were the pretty awesome polos and hats. But hey, I'm not gonna turn down a free T-shirt. But appreciate you guys once again. Yeah. If you were watching shankitgolf.com or mikeandaarondrive.com, click the logo that looks like that. 15% off your order, code AM Drive. We appreciate you guys if you're going to support.
We appreciate you. Is that what you just said, really?
You should be the one to say we're hashtag Shankful.
We are hashtag Shankful forever, baby. This is great.
Yeah, baby. Does this like mess things up, the fan?
I mean, it looks good.
Well, I'm just curious because like if I turn the fan off, I know it, or if I turn the fan on, I know it affects like the streaming sometimes. But when I turn it off, this room gets ridiculously hot.
It's almost like you live in the middle of the desert. Who knew?
During a hurricane.
That's right. Oh. Oh, by the way, I fired up the lacrosse community again. That was fun.
I did. I saw your tweets about, I guess it's a top prospect not playing defense or something.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Aaron. No, it was Dyson Williams. Yeah, the top prospect, son of a coach. Actually, the brother of a kid who's very well known in lacrosse who passed away from cancer years ago, at just 8 years old. Like, I didn't realize that's who that was. But anyways, no, Dyson Williams is really good. He's really great. And then once again, somehow I fired up some lacrosse people, including the MVP of the league, Del Bianco, who once again came at me. I love it.
You know, it seemed like he came at you a little more civil this time. And then there was another guy that came at you. I looked at his bio. He was a Desert Dogs player. So I think I might have
Cornwall guy's a Desert Dog, yeah.
I might have to pick up a media pass this year and be like, hey, do you remember that guy, Carvelis? Yeah.
I never told a story on air yet, but my buddy who lives in Buffalo went to get a flag signed by the Bandits champions. He asked Dane Smith and Josh Byrne, have you ever heard of that Carvelis guy? He said they both busted out laughing. I said, wow, that is wild.
Yeah,
he said they both looked like they were cracked up. I was like, oh, come on.
Hey, but you know what? It's not a bad thing. It's not a great thing, but it's not a bad. You're known by lacrosse players.
It was fun.
I think there's something to say about that. You know?
Watch the Minto Cup, by the way, hnllive.ca. All right, top 5. I'm getting paid for that. Top 5 baseball teams, Aaron.
You're not supposed to tell people you're getting paid to promote something.
That's fair. I'm not getting paid for that.
I'm not getting paid.
I'm not getting a free T-shirt or anything.
Hey, there's something. I got a green shirt. You got something green. I'd rather have some. Anyways, top 5 MLB teams, August 21st. Same 5 in the lineup. A little bit of a shakeup here. Actually, just kidding. I don't have a shakeup. I look from week to week. I don't have a single shakeup. Atlanta, Dodgers, Baltimore, Texas, and Tampa Bay. I'll run through them quickly. It just seems to me right now like. Only thing I can say, the reason I thought there was a shakeup is I thought I put Tampa Bay 4th. Texas had a tough week. Tampa Bay's had a good stretch here right now. They're 6. I know they're 6-4, but with everything going on with Wander Franco, losing Shane McClanahan right now, for them to still be afloat, what they are, it's impressive. But it didn't unfortunately move them enough to move them to number 4. So Atlanta, Dodgers, Baltimore, Rangers, and Rays for me is my top 5 teams again this week for the 4th week in a row for
the Braves.
No, for that exact lineup.
Wow. Is Franco, is that getting any legs, or is that?
I haven't heard anything else from that right now.
That's all I'm glad. Good.
Yeah, less is more probably for him.
Right. I've got Braves still at number 1. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're now plus 212, by the way. And the road record is 38-22, which is second to another team on the list. But still, if you have a great road record, you're pretty good. Dodgers at number 2. They're 91 in their last 10, looking good. 33-26 on the road for the Dodgers, not the greatest to me, but they had a good week. Orioles number 3. They do have the best record on the road in the MLB. You saw the inside the park home run by, what was it, Jose something? I don't know.
I didn't see it. No.
He had an inside the park home run like a couple days ago. It was fast. Number 4, the Rays. They, like you said, had a good week. Number 5, the Rangers did not. Rangers, they better be glad they have a plus 185 run differential, because the Mariners are ready to take both those spots from the Astros and the Rangers. They're 3 games back, and they've won 6 in a row, or it's either 4 or 6. I think it's 6.
I think it was 4. But
it might be 4. Whatever it is, Mariners are making that thing get pretty late. So yeah,
making a late season push. Yeah. Did you see that Julio Rodriguez stat? Julio Rodriguez for the Mariners, up and coming star. Last 4 games, he has 17 hits in his last 4 games. Oh my gosh,
that's 4. Wow.
It's over 4 a game on average. They compared him to the New York Yankees, their last 4 games. Seattle's 4-0. Yankees are 4-0. Julio Rodriguez had 17 hits by himself in 4 games. The New York Yankees have 16 hits in their last 4 games. I don't know what I'm looking at there.
Red Sox.
No. Yeah, it's just insane that he's out hitting an entire franchise.
Yeah, Boston
Right
made
now.
them look silly.
They did. Yeah, you're right. They did. Absolutely did.
I'm not mad.
It's just unfortunate that I don't want to say how good Boston's playing, but they're playing really well this year, and it's such a disappointing season. It's crazy.
It means nothing.
There's three of the teams that are there's how many teams playing better than them, and three of them are right there looking up at those three teams. So it's just crazy. Like Toronto, even Toronto too. Like Toronto might miss the playoffs, and they're playing well. Another just disappointing season, so to speak. It's the AL East is insane.
Shout out for Joey Bats retiring, and when I put him on my fantasy draft. The day I did that, by the way.
Yeah, he realized. He said, "Oh my God, this idiot Carvelis. This
Carvelis guy, right?
He put me on a list of best fights. I just need to go away."
Right. Angels are finding new ways to lose games and possibly their superstar. Aaron, are we having non-traders remorse right now by not trading this guy?
So that's a tough question. First of all, let's look at this game Friday night. They got out to a 5-1 lead on the Rays. They hit Ohtani hits a grand slam. They turn a triple play in the game. Now I know none of those two things mean automatic victory, but I'm just saying you have a 5-1 lead. You hit a grand slam with your superstar. Excuse me.
Good morning to Aaron Crouch.
And you turn a triple play, which kills the morale of most teams when you're ending an inning just like that. And you still lose the game 9-6. It's just absolutely insane to me how the Angels. You may not appreciate this, but I think our hockey fans will. The Angels to me are the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh.
Actually, and they're even worse than the Edmonton Oilers. But my comparison is just they sign name after name. They have the two best players in the league, and they get nothing to show for it year after year.
They have Draisaitl and McDavid, and nothing happens.
And nothing, no
hardware. They don't even
to
make the playoffs. At least the Oilers do.
That's why I said they're a little worse than the Oilers, but it feels like that same kind of vibe. Just the two best players in the league and nothing to show for it.
It's rough.
But seller's remorse, it's so tough for me because at the end of the day, they seem to go so hard in the paint. They were the most active team in the deadline, grabbing two starting pitchers. It all just blew up right in their face. It's like, what do the Angels have to do to make this work? I mean, it's not like they're not trying year in and year out. They bring in guys left and right, and they have the two best players. It just doesn't work. I mean, Rendon literally sucks now. Rendon was an incredible player. He stinks. I won't say that to his face because he'll try to punch me.
Right.
But,
right.
but it's just like, I don't get it, man. It's like a cursed franchise or something. I think they're almost assuredly going to lose Ohtani this offseason, unless it's all about money for him.
Wow, you're having a great morning.
I am. I didn't sleep well last night. But anyways, I think the worst part about it is I think he's going to be a Dodger next year.
That'd be great.
That's the worst part about it. You have to literally look up the freeway and see your ex-girlfriend just living it up with the new guy.
Shaking her butt all over everybody. Yeah, that'd be great.
Just one too far. Just one too far.
Come on. I'm trying to continue the conversation here.
Well, please enlighten me. Would you be having seller's remorse if you were the GM right now?
I wouldn't. I told you guys I would trade him, and you guys were like, oh, let's see what we can do. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not saying that trading him is wrong. I feel like if I'm the GM, I would rather do everything in my power to keep him there than be known as the guy who traded the greatest baseball player potentially of all time. And
now we ask General Manager Aaron Crouch, former General Manager Aaron Crouch, how'd that make you feel now?
I gotta wonder if you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You trade him, your team still sucks, you get fired.
Oh.
You don't trade him, your team sucks, he leaves, you get fired. I think you're between a rock and a hard place here.
That's fair. You make the owner more money. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the only good thing is you're right. He's selling more merchandise and selling more tickets.
Oh. All right, shankitgolf.com, code AMDrive for 15% off. When we come back, we've got some, boy, Aaron loves these interesting topics, and we will get into them next on the AM Drive. Kraus, do you regret your decision to not trade Okay.
To not trade him? No, I don't
Fair.
regret it. I don't regret it at all.
Oh,
I don't regret it at all. I might lose him. I'm going to offer him $800 million in the offseason. I might lose him still. I don't regret it. All right, welcome back here to the AM Drive, last segment of the show here, and our friends at Agridime will take great care of you. I'm getting fanned all the way from Savannah-ish, Georgia, and I got a fan right above me, and I got a fan over here with my cow. Make sure you visit Agridime, MikeandAaronDrive.com. Click the logo that looks just like that. It's all the finest and highest quality meats delivered directly to your door. It's almost smoking season time. Weather's getting cold. You turn the smoker on. But don't forget, guys, summer's still here as well. If you want all the top quality meats, make sure you visit our friends at Agridime. Promo code AM Drive for 10% off your entire order. Tell them that the guys at AM Drive sent you. Hey, and on your way over to Agridime, make sure you stop by our YouTube page and hit that subscribe button as well. We appreciate you.
That was smooth.
Yeah, thanks.
That was smooth.
I'm getting paid for it.
Right. God, or are you? Getting free shirts. Right, you look good. No, a $3 bet versus Max Homa. Aaron, you like golf? I heard this was a good championship, by the way.
The BMW, yeah, it's well, we're in playoff time at this point, and FedEx Cup playoffs, $10 million on the line. These guys.
I work for FedEx now. Woo.
Yeah, there you go. Your company can't pay you more because they're sponsoring a golf tournament.
I'm getting paid for that.
No, the Scheffler with the win, but that's secondary to me right now. Is I think this is getting out of hand, and I'm a guy who likes to have fun, and I used to think the Baba Booies and the mashed potatoes after tee shots were funny. Now I'm way past that. Maybe I'm just getting old and get off my lawn, and I'm yelling at clouds now. But this to me is just out of hand. I mean, a guy who has a alleged $3 wager on Max Homa, and one of the bigger putts. I wouldn't say the biggest putt of Max Homa's life, but a big clutch putt for Max Homa. He's getting heckled in the middle of his backswing. And again, if I want to compare golf to other sports, pre-lining up for the ball, you want to heckle a guy within reason. I know that the gentleman's game concept has literally fallen by the wayside with the invention of YouTube golf, which I support. I like a lot of YouTube guys. But I think this generation is slowly ruining golf when you talk in a guy's backswing. I know that there's YouTube videos and there's Instagram videos of, I don't know if you've ever seen this. If you Google the back off challenge, there's a group of guys that literally, when a guy steps up to a tee, they're like making fun of him, trying to get him to back away from the ball. Those are hilarious, but in the middle of the BMW championship, it's inappropriate. And all this for a $3 bet, he screams out, "Pull it," in the middle of his backswing. I think it's absolutely 100% atrocious. I can't stand for it. And I think if they seek out these people and identify them, I think the golfer should be able to do whatever they want to them. Short of murder.
Right. Right. I would have laughed and then punched him in the face, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Max Homa definitely clapped back at him. And that's the thing that I have a problem with, is because these golfers are going to start clapping back at people more and more. I mean, Bryson, how many times did Bryson get ridiculed for clapping back at people? And now
how dare you? What?
It's okay that Max Homa does it. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine if you're going to dish it to the golfer, you better be able to take it from the golfer.
The thing is, though, it's like fans have a place in the game. I get, like, make fun all the way up to the putt, but like you said, in the middle of a backswing, like, that's a no-no. That's like screaming bloody murder as Patrick Mahomes goes to release his ball.
Well, like, even when you're playing with your buddies, you don't do that. You don't talk during people's backswing. I mean, most of us are amateurs, and it's not going to help us or hurt us if you're talking to the backswing. But it's just one of those things.
It's like respect.
I said, while they're walking up, while they're reading a putt, if you want to chirp at them, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have a problem with it, because I think it's the same in the major sports as well. And unfortunately, I'm okay. Like I think it was somebody was chirping at Kevin Durant one time, and I think Kevin Durant said, "I'm gonna need you to sit the F down," or sit the F down and shut the F up. I'm fine if you're chirping at them. be prepared for them to chirp back at you. I'm fine with that. But doing it during, like I said, like, I don't know if there's a time in the NBA where chirping, because I mean free throws, but those are literally the perfect time for you to chirp.
Look at DeMar DeRozan's daughter.
Well, tell me about that one.
DeMar DeRozan's daughter they're saying that she made the I think it was the Raptors miss like all these free throws because she was like screaming bloody murder.
Mm-hmm.
And DeMar DeRozan didn't even, what is she like? He didn't even know what was happening.
I feel like these guys are professional enough that some random kid screaming is not going to affect them. But
that's what I'm saying. But like, to me, golf is like the game you just don't do that though, because it's understood.
And as I've attended events and as golf is trying to appeal to more and more fans, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of undesirables getting into golf lately, whether it be playing or watching, and some of it's good for the game. They're more relaxed environment. The foreplay crowd, I guess you could say. I mean, I listen to the foreplay podcast. I enjoy them, but they take a more relaxed approach to the game of golf, which I think is a good thing.
It is.
Problem is when you loosen the tie a little bit. Some of us loosen the tie just a little bit, and some of us loosen the tie all the way up. And that's where things just can go off the rails, and you have situations like this that are just uncalled for. And good on Max Homa, to clap back at him. And allegedly the playing partner he was playing with, the name escaped me. I think this is a story because of Max Homa. He was chirped as well, not necessarily in the backswing, but as he's lining up to address the ball, he was also chirped. And I think that's just out of line. I think golf's got to find a way to have this balance, because I still think there's a level of a gentleman's game in the sport of golf, and it's slowly disappearing, sometimes for the worse.
All right. Agreed. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of another name. The Kissing Cup. Aaron, you asked me, is this a hashtag nothing burger? That's funny. I like this. That dog does not think so. But I would like to say, I don't even know if people can hear it. I can hear it. But the fact is, apparently Spain. Explain this to me how this, because I don't want to get this wrong. Spain won the World Cup.
Are you the host today or not?
Yes. Spain won the World Cup, and who kissed who, just make sure?
So, I paraphrase the article. Really, it's just kind of our opinion on how this goes in society today. And effectively, I don't have the names in front of me, but the president of Spain football, both men's and women's, hold on.
Luis Robales and Jenny Hermoso.
Basically, during the celebration, he looked like he was just super excited, and he basically grabbed her by the head,
right,
and laid one on her. I'm not going to say this is a nothing burger. I'm going to hope. Let me actually finish. During the post-game celebration, the champagne celebration, she was asked about it, and she said, "I definitely didn't like it," but she did. She kind of brushed it off, and that's fair. I mean, I don't want to say that there's a double standard here, because I think if the president of whatever country's football was a female and she did that to a guy, I think we'd still have some controversy, so to speak. I think we'd have less, because guys would just brush that off.
I would.
But it's a world we live in today, and it had to be addressed. Of course, it had to be addressed. Just looking at it on face value, the incident, I'm going to say that he just got caught up in the moment. I don't know if there's any history between those two, relationship-wise or other.
That could be an issue.
We are 2 days removed from this, and he hasn't issued a statement or any kind of thing that I know about, of an apology or whatever. Get caught up in the moment. I feel like sometimes just getting ahead of these things just kind of nips it in the bud. Hey, look, I got caught up in the moment. I don't know why I did it. I regret it. I'm sorry to the player, and it won't happen again. And it can nip it in the bud. But in a lot of news outlets, this is lingering a little bit, because It could be borderline sexual assault. I know that's crazy, but that is where we are at as a society. If you walk up and kiss a woman, that could be technically classified as assault.
So, let me just let people know, America's not the only country that exists, and there are countries that express their affection differently than us. I'm not saying guys in Spain go up to girls and just kiss them, but I'm also not saying it's not out of the possibility for a guy to do that if he's excited and celebratory.
So
I don't think in America people would do that, but in Spain, it looks like it was almost natural. Like, is this girl going to feel offended because social media told her to?
I don't think she was necessarily offended. I just think she's just, because they translated her response, and it was said, it was like, I didn't really like it, but whatever, or something like that. And that's fine. She didn't go out and say it. She was interviewed and asked the question, obviously. Again, I don't think she was offended. I don't think it would have gone anywhere. However, to kind of devil's advocate your point, why specifically her? Why not the whole team?
I mean, I get that, but like on the face value, I get it what you're saying. But when you watch the video, it's almost like it was like spur of the moment thing, and I don't know why he chooses her. But it's like it doesn't look like he's just calculating, just grabbing her and kissing her.
No, I think
it's weird.
I think it's a nothing burger overall in my world, but I think
does it have fries though, like, or are we just doing the burger right here?
I don't know what the fries represent.
The fries represent like more, you know.
I don't think any more will come of this.
Okay.
But I think he's just kind of caught in no man's land now. If you issue a statement, it's almost too late. But you almost kind of have to just you either issue a statement and apologize, or which I think he finally said something along the lines of, but I don't think he apologized. Which again, I don't know if apologies necessarily, because she didn't come out. She's not offended by it. She didn't come out and say like this, that, and the other. I don't know. It's just it's kind of like a step above a nothing burger, but not quite a nothing meal. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. The fries. Are we got the fries and the soda here?
Yeah, I think we've got a small combo there. Like I think there's something here. And again, it's not nothing, but it's definitely something that I know what cultures do. French culture, you kiss on the cheeks. No, there's not really cultures you kiss on the lips anymore.
But to say anymore, like, is that just because like I said, America's so dumbed down, like they don't know what they're talking about half the time with that stuff. That to me would be a lot more normal over there than it would be here.
If it were to be anywhere, I think in like Spain and some Western European countries, that's where it would be, those countries of love, so to speak.
Right.
But I would have to Google that if that's their tradition. If that's their tradition, why is it just this one girl? Like, what's the history with this girl? Is this a girl you scouted and watched come up since she was 15 years old?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No. I'm not trying to go down. I'm not trying to go down on like a pedophilia angle, but I'm saying like there's something about him just kissing the one girl that makes it a little less kosher.
It is definitely it's interesting. I will say. Like you said, it's a small combo right now.
Yeah, and it may turn into nothing burger, which is okay. Again, she wasn't in hysterics. She didn't slap him across the face. She didn't say, I'm offended, I feel assaulted. She just said, I didn't really like it. That's all. That's literally verbatim what she said. I didn't really like it.
Right.
Which that's fine. I mean, you could argue if as a person that you're not attracted to or not expecting a kiss from, it could be a little bit awkward, especially on a national stage like that when you're celebrating such a tremendous accomplishment. I mean, to take away from that, this is what we're talking about. We're not even talking about the Women's World Cup. We're talking about the freaking kids.
It's rough. Well, there's a reason why we're not, but just say.
I never cared about it in the first place, but I'm sure that like other people are, sometimes the major story is not the winner. So
that's fair. Good show.
All right, that's going to do it here for us. We appreciate you guys. Once again, Mike and Aaron Drive is the key to supporting our shop, sponsors, socials, and, of course, our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Shop, sponsors, social, subscribe. The 4 S's. They are key to you helping out this channel tremendously, this show tremendously, and, of course, continuing to allow us to give you this awesome content that we talked about today and every show. NFL's coming up, so you're not going to want to miss it. The return of Sammy Action.
Woo!
Don't forget about good old Sammy Action. The return of Sammy Action this NFL season. We appreciate you guys, but until Friday, make sure you're hitting up that MikeandAaronDrive.com and supporting all of the things that we have to offer. So for Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying gamble responsibly, as always.
Drive safe.
See ya.